Hey guys, it is your calorie queen here, and today we're going to be discussing how to incorporate junk food into your diet, even though you're on a weight loss journey or you're trying to eat healthy. But before we go on, I want us to define junk food so that we're on the same page. My definition of junk food basically is anything that's high in sugar, in fat, and or salt. So your chocolates, ice cream, cake, meat pie, fried chicken, your chips, they all fall under this category. And why is this topic very important? Because in the weight loss hustle, many of us restrict ourselves so much, but in the end, what happens? You end up binging, right? Because you just feel so choked and suffocated because you can't have all these things that you probably want. You can have them. It's all about moderation. But then when we say moderation, it's difficult to really define what that means. How much is too much, okay? And that's what we're going to be talking about today. Now, I'm going to be discussing two approaches. But in the end, it all comes down to the numbers. Because at the end of a week, what you're trying to do is to ensure that you have created enough calorie deficit to still burn enough, to burn fat, basically. What you really don't want is for you to have killed yourself and worked your ass off for like 5 days of the week, and then weekend comes and you just let yourself go and you ruin all that effort. People, it is very possible for you to ruin the work of 5 days in just 2 days. Okay, it all comes down to the numbers. I mean, imagine yourself creating a deficit of like 500 calories per day for 5 days. That means after 5 days, we have created 2,500 calories of deficit. In just 2 days, you can eat that same 2,500 calories in excess if you're not careful. Because junk food in general, they have so many calories in a little amount. So it is so easy to actually do it without realizing just how much you have done. Okay, it's not about you eating a lot. With junk food, you can eat little amount, but it's still lots of calories. And remember, your body does not care about the quantity of the food. It is counting the calories as it is, all right? So now that said, the two approaches I'm going to discuss, number one, and you can try any one, try both of them and see which one works better for you. You can decide to have small treats through the week, right? So for example, you can decide, I'm going to, have 500 calories worth of treats every week, or 500, 700 calories, okay? It depends on how much calorie deficit you're already achieving through the week. So for example, if I'm already achieving a 3,500, according to my plan is helping me achieve 3,500 calorie deficit for the entire week. That's like 500 per day. 500 times 7 days a week is 3,500, right? I can decide, I'm going to take 500 out of that 3,500 and make it a 3,000 calorie deficit in a week. That's still a very, very good calorie deficit to be in, right? It's still very fair. For some of us, you might be achieving a lot more. You might be, with your plan, you might be achieving, up to 5,000, 4,000 calorie deficit. And you decide, I'm going to take 700 calories out of that and use it to treat myself, okay? Now, it might sound counterintuitive. That means, shouldn't you be trying to, get the very best results, achieve the highest calorie deficit that you can so that you can get to your goal faster? You can be trying to do that and be 100%, good all the time. But like I said, if you're going to be honest with yourself, what happens most of the time is that down the line, you end up binging, okay? So in the long run, right, it's better for you to incorporate some of it and not ruin all your efforts, okay? So if I've already made my plan and I tell myself I want to have treats worth of 600, 700 calories for the week, you can decide to split that. So for example, I can decide to split it maybe 200 to 220 calories through the week, and I have that 3 times a week. But then what I now have to ask myself is, what treats do I really want? And how much of it is within that 200 calories or 220 calories or something like that? And I brought some examples with me today. So this is a kitkat bar. I guess how many calories this is? This is 213 calories, okay? So with my regular meal on one of the days of the week, I can decide that, at some point during the day, I'm going to have one of these. Okay, and then another day during the week, I can decide to have something else. Maybe it's gonna be biscuits. I don't know what it is for you. Here's another example. This is ice cream. Those ice creams on sticks, right? Yeah, something this type. right? This is 244 calories. Okay, I can decide, okay, you know what, on Monday I'm gonna have this, on Thursday I'm gonna have this, and then I don't know, on Saturday I'm going to have one biscuit like that I really like. But the point is that I have planned for it. Don't just do it on a whim. Plan for it. When you plan for it, you know what you're doing, you know what quantities to have. Okay, you've made room for it. Now, I can decide that I'm going to have this in addition to my plan, or I can decide to use it to replace something. So, for example, I can decide, you know what, instead of my regular snack, for my snack, I'll probably be having a fruit bowl or maybe a smoothie or something. And I'm like, you know what, let me reuse it. Let me I'm going to have this on some days, I'll replace it with this KitKat bar. And that's fine. Okay? It's fine to treat yourself sometimes. So now that is one approach. Second approach is I'm going to be a good girl all week, and then I'm going to save my the calories I've dedicated for my treats. I'm going to put it all in one day. So instead of splitting that my 600 or 700 calories through the week, I'm going to have it on one day and decide whatever day that it's going to be. Maybe it's a Saturday, right? And I decide, okay, so in addition to my regular meals for the day, I have an extra 700 calories. How do I want to spend it? It depends on you. So there are two ways you can look at it. You can say, okay, what else do I want to add that is 700 or 500, 700 calories? Or I can say, for the day, normally I would have eaten 1,500 calories, but I'm adding this extra 500, 700 calories. So that means for today, I am going to have 2,000 calories. So how do I want to split that? I can decide, you know what, I'm going to have a very good breakfast, 400 calories. And then I am going to have 1,100 or maybe 1,200 calorie lunch, okay, and then another 400 calorie dinner. Altogether, that's 2,000 calories. So now I'm going to ask myself, I have 1,200 calories to spend on lunch today. What do I want? Okay, I could decide to do 1,200 calories. I can decide to do 3 slices of pizza. Okay, one of the things that I love to do is ofada rice and stew. It's one of my best cheap meals. Obviously, the problem with ofada rice and stew is the oil in the ofada sauce, right? And many times, many vendors actually also fry the beef that comes with it, which for me is fine. That is my cheat meal, okay? So it could be anything for you, but do your research, okay? You see that you want to have some iced cream. You want to go to Cold Stone. How many calories is in, Cold Stone ice cream? Believe me, Google is your friend. Okay, so do the research. Is it meat pie? Is it cake? Is this one particular person's cake that is to die for? All right, just do some research, and when you know the quantity, then you know what you're doing, and that way you're sure that you're not ruining your efforts. That way you're sure that at the end of the week you are still in a calorie deficit and you're still going to lose weight. And by the time next week starts, you don't feel like you're missing out. All right, you don't feel like you're missing out. Because so whichever one works for you, do you want to spread across the week? Do you want to dedicate a particular meal in your week to it and go all out? But when you plan, then you know how much to do. Because if you don't plan, you might sit down, have an entire box of pizza and think that that is okay. It's not okay. Okay, an entire box of pizza will be taking you close to 3,000 calories, like a medium box of Domino's pizza, for example. Okay, 3,000 calories is a lot. Okay, and if you're not careful, many of us, that's probably not all you have. But when you do your numbers, when you sit down and do these numbers, you know what you're doing, and you're better able to make wiser decisions. So I really hope that this has made sense and that I have not somehow confused you further. If you still have questions, please feel free to leave them in the comments. And if you want help, if you need help figuring this thing out, or you want somebody else to carry the headache of figuring this out for you, feel free to send us a message to ask about our programs. I cannot wait for you to join us in join a solution that is sustainable, that can help you lose this weight without you feeling like you're punishing yourself, without you feeling like you're bankrupting yourself on top weight loss. Weight loss does not have to be punishment. It does not have to feel like you are suffering. You can do this and have fun and still enjoy food. And that is what we can help you do. So feel free to send a message. As always, I remain your calorie queen, and I'll see you guys next time.